goodness, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm picking off right where I just left off in the last video. I just didn't want to drag that one out, so we're starting this one up, finishing up the underside of the car. So right now the subframe just got dropped. It is outside getting cleaned right now. I got my buddy here helping me, my buddy Alex, aka the Wheel Jesus on Instagram, and right now I'm going to pull you guys off of here. I have got the 4 out of the 6 plates welded in. Well, not welded, so tacked in. So this guy, that guy, and then this guy, and this guy. So I got all the plug welds done. They're all fully tacked up. I'm just going to run through, lay the beads around them, and those are going to be good to go. And then the last 2 are going to be the trailing arm tab pocket things, which would be, you know, all up here. This whole area, it's just a lot of seam seal. This one's going to be a messy, so I just wanted to get the easy ones first. Make it feel like I was making some progress today, because it's been a long day and I don't feel like we've got a lot done. But I don't know. So we're still moving. Welcome back to the video, and let's have some fun. Let's get some more work done. Well, these ones are all welded in. But now I got the dreadful experience of having to do these ones. So let's get to grinding and wire wheeling and prepping. So not going to be fun. Believe me when I tell you, those trailing arm bushing pockets are ass to prep. Yeah. It's still not even perfect. So I got most of the weld areas, but of course the biggest part, which is up in here, I've tried every grinding wheel I have. I've tried, you know, razor blades. I just cannot get past that last teeny bit of seam sealer in the corner. But I'm just gonna have to weld through it. I don't have much choice. It's gonna pop and spit at me, but you know, we'll make the best of it. So I'm gonna go ahead, load up the welder again, and you know, finish this stuff up. So I was gonna head home, call it a night, but because I just finished all the welding. But you know, I still got a tiny bit of energy left in me, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna grind the welds flat that I need to grind flat really quick, because I gotta sweep up anyway, and I hate to do that now and then get dust all over in the morning. Granted, I sweep every day, but even I don't know, whatever. I'm just gonna do it now. It's only gonna take a few minutes, and then sweep, and then I'll head home. All right, so I got some primer put on the bare metal. So I'm going to go through really quick and hit it with the undercoating spray. With the undercoating spray, you know, laid on, I think we're looking pretty good. So for whatever reason, I think I mentioned it, this hole up here decided to get a little gooey. So just to be safe, without sending it up, I went and it took me forever to find one locally, but I found an M12 1.5 tap and die. So now I have like every other tap and die in a kit, but for whatever reason, that M12 1.5, ridiculously hard to find. So got that. Had to go get a little, you know, caulking gun for the seam sealer. Now that's the one thing I did forget to do, is put seam seal on the rear, and there was only like 3 little spots where I was going to do it, like 3 little inch-long sections. So honestly, I don't think I'm going to worry about it, because it was just going to be right up here in the little pocket, and I don't know, there's still seam sealer there anyway, because I was having to burn through it. So I think I'm just going to leave that alone, and we should be good. But yeah, I don't know. I still got to pull the front shocks off. I'm going to seam seal up there. And actually, now I'm looking at it, there's one little spot right here that I want to do. So I want to do that little pocket right there. Little focus. That little pocket right there. I don't like that that shelf is open. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to work on the front since this is still kind of curing. And then once this dries up a little bit more, then I'll come back, put a little seam sealer in there and hit it with another coat. A little bit of crust in that hole, but looks like we're good now. Ain't these things usually got a... Oh yeah, huh? Forget these things with the snippy tip on the handle.
Oh, fuck. That is super nice. Yeah, so this is Garrett's E36 M3.
Oh, did the snippy tip pretty well. Oh, dang.
It's fucking really nice. It's got the Carl Sportsters in it.
Are those like OEM style wheels?
They're BBS FIRs. Or, sorry, RIAs. So I went to town up here. I coated this, then remembered I wanted to seal up there around the ring, so I just sealed that, letting that dry for a few, then I'll coat that again. And then same thing on this side, all coated up, so I can wipe some of the excess out of there. Yeah, so we're looking pretty good there. And then Alex is just trying to push these bushings out. And you know, this kit is just, you know, the cups are nice for the most part, even though most of them don't fit any of the big bushings on here. But the issue is this guy stripped twice now, and we're chasing it again. Before it was the other nut. Had to go get new nuts this morning, and dude, it's something. So yeah, yeah, like, I don't know, man, Garagistic, what you guys thinking? Recommending such a doo-doo ass kit. On the plus side, once those 2 bushings are out, all the bushings are good and ready to be pushed in. And yeah, so I'm gonna let this stuff dry, give it another coat, and then once those bushings are out, we'll press those in. Alright, so pressing out the diff bushings because my tool just snapped. So thankfully the things work for this. So there we go. The only downside is I had already resealed this thing yesterday, so now I gotta go ahead and reseal it again. But all the bushings are out, so that's a plus. Diff is all sealed up for the second time now, so we're good to push the bushings in. So here is our full bushing kit that we need. Yep. So this guy, let's gotta figure out which ones are which though. Finally on to the reassembly process. So these ones are diff bushings. This is the other diff bushing. These are trailing arm, and then these are the only ones that are actually labeled. So I mean, these ones are kind of obvious, but yeah, these are the only ones labeled, and they actually label the pins too, which is nice because there is a bolt size difference. So you should be able to just press them in by hand. I'm gonna go ahead and put white lithium grease just because, you know, a little less squeaks hopefully in a few months. But yeah, let's give it a shot. They lied to me.
I see.
Oh, never mind.
Shit! Damn!
Alright. It went part way in. Alright, take 2. There we go.
Hell yeah. Just a little bit more ugga dugga.
Yeah, a little bit more oomph. Not so bad. Alright, we're on the right track. Gotta give it a bigger beam than that.
Damn, son.
Tried time-lapsing putting the gas tank up, but battery died, so gas tank's up now. Put up quite a bit of a fight. There's a little vent tube on the other side, and there's like a little plastic thing, and when we were trying to take one of the hoses off, it like popped out of its little position, and then that was making, you know, a gap, and it was really stupid, but we just trimmed it off, the little plastic nipple, and now it went up, you know, so gonna call it good. Now we can try and load the subframe up. That's gonna be a bit of a tricky one because it's so heavy, but yeah, getting there.
Hell yeah. Well, filler tube is connected again, so it's ready for the subframe.
Let's get it. Is up, thankfully. Well, mostly up. The issue that we ran into now is my camber arms are pretty well screwed up, so it looks like he was thinking maybe a tow truck driver hooked onto it at some point and just bent them, so they're not lining up at all. My buddy Mike has a set that he might sell, so might try and scoop those off him, but waiting for him to text me back. So next up, just gonna, you know, in the meantime, set up the rear brakes and put the diff in. That's more or less the rear end minus the coilover, so almost there. the rear end pretty much put back together. It's just about buttoned up. The only issue I ran into is right here on the rear driver side, you know, hub. Turns out that this car didn't come with any of the drum stuff. Like, it's disc brake, but the drums are for the e-brake. The rotor fell off, and I didn't know why until I got the other side up, and I was like, oh, it's missing all of the hardware for the drum, you know, the shoe stuff. So now I gotta get that. I gotta get some rotor set screws since I had to cut those out. And then, yeah, I gotta get some brake shoes. So I'm gonna have to call AutoZone or O'Reilly's and see if anybody's got some locally. So the rear end is kind of on a standstill while I'm waiting for the fuel stuff anyway. So in the meantime, the last thing I can do in the rear end besides torque the axle bolts now that I got the drive shaft up is just put the rear shocks in. So shouldn't be too crazy. Let's get that knocked out. I got the rear, well, I got all the coilovers bolted up, at least to the chassis. I got to bolt the hubs on still. But while I have the car down, I'm going to just go ahead, change the oil filter really quick and put fresh oil in it, or at least the majority of the oil, just so I can, you know that it's done, so I don't accidentally dry start the motor. Alright, so getting kind of late. I'm going to wrap it up for the day and you know, wrap it up for the video. So I got kind of, you know, I don't know. I shut the camera off and I kept working, and I got the front hubs installed. I got the front brake lines hooked up. I got the coilovers on, and I can tell this thing's going to be tucking pretty damn hard right now, so we're probably going to have to raise it. So really all that's left in the front end is put the new pads and rotors on and put some load on the front suspension to tighten all the bolts down. Well, at least the sway bar end links, because there's no other bolts really around here. So, yeah, we're just about there. So I'm exhausted, but I'm excited. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you want to go get a new shirt, Velocity Race Fab has new shirts. So go check out the website. Let me know what you think of it. And yeah, I'm just brains fried. It's hot. Do what you love. Forget about the rest. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.